Okay guys, got home from the mom's house. We pushed the yellow hydro out of the picture. That probably won't be coming to plow day just because of the leaks and just it being a hydro, and it's not proven yet just from the backyard driving. I don't want to destroy something that's kind of rare in my eyes. So we bought this junker, the 19.9. I did get running better. I need to do a different fuel system, and I'm gonna try and do some other tricks before I tear into the carburetor, because I'd like to keep it the way it was, without taking it apart. See if I can get it running the way it's supposed to without touching the carburetor. But if everything else fails, then I'll be able to point my finger at that. What we're gonna do though is I am pulling the rear end out of this. I am locking the rear end. So I'm gonna have a little video on how I do that and how you guys should remove your rear ends, because I know a lot of people, this is like a scary thing for them, but it's pretty simple. But I figured I got to remove the rear end anyways to fix that seat spring in the gas tank and run the line and do everything the way I want. So we're going to do that. I'm probably going to use this rear end because it's a splined rear end, and I've been told, and plus I believe, because being inside of them, the gears are a lot beefier. There's a lot more pinion gears in this one. Everything just seems a lot more better built, so we're doing that. Kaylin's over there putting her tie rod end on because the one's kind of wobbly and worn out. But let's get after it. The first thing you do, take the wheels off, chalk it up with some jack stands. Luckily on these splined rear ends, the hubs always usually come off, because as you're driving around, these always are moving, so it's not like the keyed ones where they were set in place day one and then nobody ever took them off for 30 years. These ones kept themselves moving. But what I do is I loosen all these. Everything's 5/8. We're going to take the seat spring out of the way. Take this piece off possibly so I can get the new gas tank in. And then down through this hole, I'm going to show you my trick. That's your high-low lever. That little pin, there's a trick I do, which I'll show you. And then you'll be able to get this free, the high-low lever. I'm probably going to take the shifter off before I pull the rear end just to make it easier. And then what else? Drain your fluid, which you saw that in one of my other videos. Drain the fluid out of that guy there so you don't make a mess all through your yard. Do remove the motor deck bracket and the drive belt. The parking brake lever here you're going to have to take off. And then where the clutch rod mounts up here to the pedal, you need to take that off to get them out. But let's get started. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, everything's 9/16 or 5/8 usually on everything on the rear end. Now this is done. It's been in the way. I get the damn motor deck bracket off. Hold on. Alright guys, normally this pin's in backwards, but somebody had this out and they did it a different way than normal. But what I normally do is, if you look down in there, this guy right here, the part that you bend over is usually pointing this way. So what I'll do is I'll get the screwdriver down here, get it to where you can see it, and I'll go boink, pound it down to where it's flat, and then you just take your screwdriver and push it out the other end and it'll come right out. But this one they did it differently when they had this out, because as you can see all the hokey work they did. So if you guys judge me on what I'm going to do with this thing in the future, it's pretty hokey. So it's kind of helping me with my decisions. So no big deal, the gas tank covers it up, but that's where we're at. So I'm going to fight this a little bit more because it's going the wrong way, and I'll get that out and we'll keep pulling this out. Okay guys, we got the pin out for the high-low lever. Now we're moving on to the shifter, which I have to remove this anyways, because if any of you know these style tractors, the shifter's in backwards, whoever worked on this. So we're going to take this out, and then next will be these two bolts here. Take them out, which are 5/8. A lot of people take it out with the bracket here and take the whole rear plate off, but I don't like doing that. So I've had good luck just taking them bolts out. So let me get this out and I'll show you what it looks like, and we'll keep moving on. Alright guys, what I normally use to get these out If you use a 1/4-inch wrench, socket wrench with the swivel head, it works good. Or if you actually buy the sockets that are the swivel sockets, where this mess here is gone, it's a little bit more compact, it works better. I have them at work, but I don't have them here. But these shifters, if you fight them a little bit, I know the trick, but if you just kind of kick it here, you can get the whole shifter out without taking the tractor transaxle out. And if you look in there, the mess I just made, but we're taking the thing apart anyways. What happens with these a lot of times, you can get this piece out too. This is like the shift gate to keep you from going into like more than one gear at a time. Which you can see it gets bent on some of these, people hammering on them. But we'll save this gasket, hopefully. There, that came off in one piece. But a lot of tractors I've bought, them are what's shifting the tractors, them two guys right there. A lot of times somehow, if these, this is a perfect example, if somebody gets these bent so bad to where, or they break off somehow, so this is kind of like pot metal or some janky metal, but somebody will actually get this stuck in 2 gears at one time, and that's, I've already had 2 tractors where people told me the rear end was bad, but them, they were both in, somehow they both got moved and you couldn't get it back in neutral because you can't see what's going on. So from what I can see so far, it looks pretty good in there, so we're going to tear into it some more and get more of it apart. Alright, so what we're doing this time, so you don't have to pick the rear end up, is loosen all the bolts up. Now my plan is to, everything's loose, the belt, the clutch, the brake system, everything. I'm going to loosen this bolt because this rear end sets like an angle, the bottom of it, the case. So I'm going to loosen these bolts, let it to where it flops down so the jack will set on it nice, and then take the back bolts out and then we'll just lower it out of there. Okay, we loosened them bolts out and just as planned, everything came down nice and easy. I did drain the fluid so we don't have a mess. Well, not that big of a mess. Don't forget your washer for the parking brake. I've lost a couple of those in my time. And now it should make its way out. Since the shifter's off, it just barely clears. And that's that. Where's that clip at, bub? Alright guys, so these ones always slide off pretty easy, like I said, because it's the only thing that holds it in is this clip, so as you drive along it just polishes it all the time. So you take the snap ring off, slides off. There's 2 washers on this one. Normally there's only 1, so it's kind of weird. Now what I do to get these off, you could use an impact. I don't have any pneumatics here, just my little 3/8 electric one. So if you jam it up with the vice grip, as you can see, nothing's ever been on there. So what you're going to see now is how easy it comes off. And it's putting up a fight. If you do that, it kind of has an impact motion. And there you go. Now she's coming off. So let me get this nut off and then I'll show you how I get the pulleys off normally. Alright guys, so it's always pays to have a parts hoard. This is a rear end out of a I think it was a 69 custom 10XL, or maybe it was an 8X. Yeah, it was an 8XL. And I had no use for the engine and stuff, but I got the steering wheel, this rear end, skinny wheels, and some other stuff off of it. But we are going to steal it for this nice brake band to put on that 19.9. And luckily I went upstairs and I remembered I had a locked rear end already that I did. I still will do a locked rear end video, but we're just going to put that one in because we're kind of under the gun time crunch. And probably the rear end will be yours, Andy, if you're watching. The one that came out of that 19.9, I'll probably just give that to you. Because that one's keyed that I'm putting in, but it'll be fine either way. So I'm going to get this off and we'll pick up back over at the 19.9. Alright guys, so we got the brake. I took the brake band off of the custom, the 8XL or whatever I purchased a while ago and parted out. I got another piece that was laying over there. This is off of a 16.6 that I parted out. So it doesn't have the kink and the bend and everything in it. Another thing to check, the rear ends that always are full of water, it's because this guy's leaking here. So when rainwater comes down, it goes right through that. That's what this guy's preventing with the little drain hole there. And then you need the gasket underneath for this guy, which another piece off that 16.6 was over there. these aren't bent at all, so I'm putting that on there. This gasket you could make, or you probably could buy, but I have good luck getting them off, so I'm going to just reuse it because it's really just no fluid ever really gets to there under pressure or any circumstance. So I'm just going to goop it up and put it on, and got to put the hubs on, and one axle seal over here needs put in, but other than that we're good. So let me get after that. And it's the best lighting in the whole backyard. So the 19.9's around the corner there in the pitch dark. We did get the rear end swapped, but we were running out of daylight, so I didn't videotape putting it back in, but it's just the removal of it with a little bit more swearing. Got the hydro running pretty good. We did have a mishap with hers. The gas tank, the gas cap leaked and puked all over the paint of the gas tank, and then we were taking the gas tank out, it arced off of this and almost caught the whole damn thing on fire, which would have been a disaster. The gas tank where that post was like glowing hot red. It welded itself to it, but luckily I got it off and got it away from it. So we're kind of still at the same point with the ss12. Andy, if you're watching, that rear end out of the 19.9 is the one I think I'm going to give you. Just tell me what you don't need off of it, because I did rob the brake rod off of it and some other nitpicky stuff, but you'll be able to transfer that off the old one in yours. I could use the hubs off of it, but if you need the hubs, they can go with it. But we did get the locked rear end in it, and the gas tank figured out. So you can't even see really like a silhouette of it. But that's what where we're at right now with it. So just more of like a, what you call it, just an update is all we got going on, and a little bit of working on the 19.9 and showing you off the stuff at my mom's house. But talk to you guys later. Hope you enjoyed what I did today, and till next time.